Welcome back to the Steve Champagne Radio Show. Welcome, football fans, Steeler fans, as we have a few things to talk about here on the Steve Champagne Radio Show, Sports Edition, if you will, where the Steelers have a master plan that nobody's talking about. Stephen A. ain't talking about it. Nightcap, Shannon, Sharpe, they're not talking about it. Nick, Wright, Broussard, you name it, they're not talking about it. Pardon the interruption. I mean, Marcellus Wiley, you could go on with all the sports talking heads, the NFL Network, everybody that they have, Rich Eisen. Nobody's talking about the Steelers' master plan. They're just like, well, Aaron Rodgers, they're criticizing the Steelers, but they don't see the genius behind getting Aaron Rodgers. And I'm going to point it out to all you Steeler fans out there and non-Steeler fans of why the Steelers have a master win-win plan. Now, the one thing about the Steelers, what do we know about the Steelers? What do we know? Okay, well, we know Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. Yeah, he hadn't won a playoff game in a while, but he hasn't had a losing season, okay? That's number one. We know the Steelers are a storied franchise that have rabid fans all over the world, really. We know that they're very successful, and we know their front office is run very well. They don't make silly decisions like signing Deshaun Watson to a ridiculous deal and things like that. They don't make those kind of mistakes. So therefore, they have insight and a master plan where a lot of franchises don't have a master plan, and that's where Aaron Rodgers comes in. It's a win-win situation. They sign him to 1 year. If he wins, gets him in the playoffs. If they win a playoff game, and for those people thinking that they can't win a playoff game, you know what? Look at how much better the Ravens have been than the Steelers over the last several years. But what happens in those Ravens-Steeler games? The Steelers, it's a rivalry. Things can happen in the playoffs. That football can bounce a certain way. We've seen things. They saw it in Pittsburgh with that Franco Harris catch against the Raiders. I mean, things can happen. But if he gets in, they win a playoff game, even if they don't win a playoff game. Or let's say Aaron Rodgers stinks up the joint, they win 5 games, Mike Tomlin has his first losing season, everybody's going, it's time for Mike Tomlin to go. That's what they're going to say, but that's not the real deal, because the real deal is the Steelers have some draft capital, and the Arch Manning sweepstakes is on. And you know just as well as I do that the Manning family, just like the Steelers, is football royalty. And between Peyton, Eli, Cooper, and Father Archie, he's not going to be a bust. He's not going to be Kenny Pickett. He's not going to be Trevor Lawrence. He's going to be something special. That's why you have that great defense that they signed T.J. Watt for this year. That's why they can run the football. That's why they're working to put these things in place for the Arch Manning sweepstakes. Because even if Aaron Rodgers wins, they don't bring him back next year, they still have the draft capital to move up and make a trade and get Arch Manning on their team. Then they're going to have another 15 years of great quarterback play like they had with Big Ben, like they had back in the day with Terry Bradshaw, and the Steelers will be on top again. And nobody is talking about it. All they're talking about is how crazy it is to sign Aaron Rodgers. What are the Steelers thinking when they're not seeing the master plan in place? But what do you think? I read every single comment, and I would love to read what you think about the Steelers and the Steelers' chances of either A, this Arch Manning sweepstakes without tanking, or B, them winning a playoff game. Do you really think Mike Tomlin's on the hot seat? And who would you get if you fired him? I would love to read all of that in the comment section. And while you're down there, I invite you to join us. The Steve Champagne Radio Show talks all things music, movies, sports, and entertainment. We would love for you to be a part of our family. So get ready for the next sports video or music video or whatever's coming. Expect the unexpected right here from the Steve Champagne Radio Show. Comment, baby. Join us. Let's do this.